We set up this center here to improve the quality of care for patients in Northeast Indiana, but also the safety of procedures done to patients.
The simulation lab inside Parkview's Miro Center is a result of millions of dollars in donations from donors throughout the Northeast Indiana region.
We're using all donor dollars for it. There's no healthcare dollars that are spent for the simulation lab.
And with these donations, Parkview has developed a simulation lab with some of the most technological training equipment.
We don't have to try things out on a patient. Hey, let's see if this works. This is a much better environment to do that, right? So it's safer, no one is harmed.
With Parkview's new simulation lab, they continue to make advancements in the world of medicine with new technologies. But how does this combination of new technology and modern medicine help pinpoint the pain? Dr. Michael Miro is the medical director of Parkview's Research Center. He says that these hands-on medical simulations provide an important learning element and skill-building tool that didn't exist in years past.
This has actually improved not only the efficiency, but improved outcomes of procedures with the advancement of technology.
We have lots of different equipment here that the physicians can use. One of them is an anatomage table, which is an anatomy demonstration table. We can use CT scans from actual patients, load them into the table, and get a 3D image so doctors can examine that image and what they may want to do before they ever get to a patient. We can also move from that table to other virtual reality simulators and simulate that process so that, again, the doctor can practice before they get to the patient.
These mannequins can simulate many different scenarios, including amputee and heart attack victims. These mannequins are also programmed to breathe, wink, and even speak and react.
I feel better now.
This does measure the clinician's performance and will store the information, so if the clinician goes back, redoes the procedure, it'll continue to compare their performance.
In addition to doing simulations here, we also can take our mannequins and take our equipment to the hospitals and to the patient care areas and run simulations there.
This new technology is helping to save lives in our area right now. Back in May, Parkview announced plans for an $80 million investment into a new cancer institute that will feature many of the machines in the simulation lab. Reporting, I am Demetrius Lewis, WFFT Local News, First at 10.
If people could see the rivers, then they'd probably think about using the rivers. And if they use the rivers, then they'll care about the rivers.
Those are the words of Dan Wire of the Tri-State Watershed Alliance. He is an expert on water and soil quality, and he took me on a tour of the St. Mary's, St. Joe, and Maumee rivers. He says with a developed river system comes a better quality of life provided by the city.
As we improve the water quality, citizens are more inclined to want to recreate on the rivers. If they recreate on the rivers, that creates this quality of place that we're after.
Wire says he believes that investments made to the riverfront will help retain local talent and attract more businesses.
And when we amplify what we have in Fort Wayne, Allen County, and Northeast Indiana as quality of place, then we have the opportunity of attracting, drawing, and retaining good businesses that will keep our citizens here, both young and old. We've got a great asset that we can use.
Pam Holliger, Deputy Director of Planning for the City of Fort Wayne, explains that the area around the landing will likely be developed.
I think we really see the riverfront here with the landing and that connectivity. People will be saying in the future, let's go to the, I don't know what it will be called, but let's go to this area, and they'll be able to do 5 or 10 different things just within this area.
Which leaves a lot of room for a lot of different possibilities on our riverfront, like shopping centers, restaurants, and tourist attractions.
I don't want to spill the beans, but you'll be seeing a lot more things actually happening on the river, not only in boats, but there will be some other things that we'll be doing so people can experience this.
According to Fort Wayne Deputy Mayor Carl Vandermeer, our 3 rivers are prime resources.
I think with the energy that's going on, particularly in the downtown, it's kind of brought a refocus and it's re-energized the issue that this is an asset.
The city is moving forward with their plans to make this vision a reality and has already purchased land.
Property has been acquired, and we're staged to begin that development.
Dave Bennett represents the Community Foundation. He says more funds are needed to complete the project, and they are in the process of raising those funds right now.
We have made a financial commitment in this early phase of riverfront development to raise $3 million. We're very close to reaching that goal.
Those involved with the riverfront development say we have come a long way in the past year, and they tell me we can expect to see more evidence of the development very soon.
This is the car that I have always wanted since I was 16 years old. And when I was 16, I got a silver 66 Charger with a smaller engine, a 383. I couldn't afford the extra $800 for the big boy, the 426 Hemi. So I waited 32 years. I got the Hemi car that I wanted, restored it, been driving and enjoying it ever since.
Every time I get in this car, I feel like I'm right back in 1969. It's a true 69 GTO convertible. I built the car for me, so I painted it the Judge graphics because I always liked the Judge color and everything. So I painted it that color and I did a frame off on it, and it took me 5 years to do it all.
Cam is my nickname. I found out from a car magazine that the man that designed this car is Carl Cameron, and he goes by Cam. I thought that was pretty cool. I wrote a letter to Chrysler Museum. They forwarded it to him in Oregon. I met him in the year 2000. He signed the car. He stayed at my house. He told me all the design features of the car. It doesn't get any better than that.
And most of the parts are original parts: fenders, hood, trunk lid, all of that is original. The motor is original, 4-speed transmission. And the wheels are the original Rally 2 rims, but I painted them the same color as the car because I didn't like the charcoal black color they had on the rims.
People are awestruck because you don't see them anymore. Again, it's 50 years old. It's a 1966, and if they look closely and see the bucket seats, 4 of them, and the console, and the hidden headlights, and the fastback.
When I started up, bunch of people, here they come, you know, just crowding around it. I guess they like the sound of it. I suppose I put cutouts on it. I can make it loud or soft.
If you have a car that you would like to show off, young or old, this new Coffee and Cars event will be held once a month throughout the summer. Head to our website, fortwaynehomepage.net, for more information. Demetrius Lewis, WFFT Local News, first at 10.
Don't ask questions as to who you are, where you live. It's nothing like that.
Greg Lewis is a retired police officer and has been with Crime Stoppers for 14 years. Since 1983, when Crime Stoppers first began, they have received more than 36,000 crime tips that have led to more than 10,000 arrests.
We're a private organization that operates on donations. We take information that leads to felony arrests or on warrant, someone that's wanted, someone that's on parole violation, or they're a wanted fugitive.
Crime Stoppers is part of a national organization that is run by local residents and volunteers. The Fort Wayne group works with law enforcement agencies in 11 different counties.
We render mutual aid not only to the Fort Wayne Police Department, but to Allen County, the FBI, other agencies, and other counties.
So far this year, Crime Stoppers has gotten 700 tips from the public that they have passed on to the police.
When we look at having this opportunity, such as Crime Stoppers, for people to deposit information totally anonymously to investigators, it is key for us.
Mike Joyner of the Fort Wayne Police Department says that these crime tips are critical to solving cases and can benefit those that report them.
They can make as much as $1,000, I think, by providing key information. So it pays to be part of the solution.
And keeping identity safe is a top priority for Lewis and the Crime Stoppers organization.
We depend on the trust of the people that call us to know that we are going to keep them anonymous no matter what.
Those who call in with tips are assigned a special case number so that they don't have to provide their name.
Those numbers keep these people safe, because if I have their name, someone could ask me by subpoena or whatever, who gave you that information? I can look them right in the eye and honestly say 9-1-30. That's all I know. I have no idea who it is. And we also pay in cash.
If you want to make a donation to help fund rewards, or if you have a tip to help solve a crime, you can call Crime Stoppers 24/7. That number is 436-STOP. Reporting in Fort Wayne, Demetrius Lewis, WFFT Local News, First at 10. Whether you're enjoying a night out at the bar downtown or you're out in the country at a winery, live music is a tune that continues to trend in our area.
Live music in Fort Wayne's always been popular, always been big, but without a doubt, having Sweetwater here and 1,000 employees and probably 3/4 of them are musicians, there is more live music in Fort Wayne today than there's ever been.
Chuck Surak is the owner and founder of Sweetwater Sound. And what started as a dream in the back of his Volkswagen bus many years ago has turned into a 100-acre, 320,000 square foot facility that serves the purpose of music lovers of all levels.
When I started Sweetwater back in 1979, frankly, was to have a job and have a job in the music business. And what I really wanted to do was go out and record bands and make them sound better. My goal has always been to provide more value or more extra services to the people that I served. And we carry that all the way through today. When we sell an instrument, we provide much more than just sell them the instrument. We provide that support, we provide education, we provide ways to make sure they get the most value out of the instrument.
Local musicians like Brian Nellums and Jordan West are all too familiar with the services that Sweetwater provides to musicians. Brian Nellums is part of the band Soul 35, and he's also an employee at Sweetwater. Nellums says that Sweetwater provides much more than just instruments.
Sweetwater is a big part of the community and especially the local band scene for far as providing gear to providing venues and just even promotion stuff. Sweetwater, they encourage us to continue our craft within the workplace. There's even been times where my managers have excused me from work to pursue a gig and whatnot. And the biggest thing is that they want us to continue.
Jordan West is part of the band Trackless. They are currently doing live shows out in Los Angeles. West attributes her band's recent success to the presence of Sweetwater.
For me, the connections and the skills I learned at Sweetwater have kind of made my life out here possible. And for my band, it gave us, the CD release party we did last year. It was huge, and a lot of that was possible because of help from people I met through Sweetwater, and Sweetwater helped me, advertise, put my posters up, and tell everybody. It's just a really nice community, and I think being a part of that has really made the difference for us.
Jordan says that in her time out west, she has had the opportunity to meet and work with well-known musicians.
I got invited to that party, and I ended up doing sound for Bob Clearmountain on one song, and Bob Clearmountain did Miss You by the Stones. He's epic, mixing engineer. Mm-hmm. And I'm he's playing drums and I was running sound on the board. I got to play California Love for Stevie Wonder at NAMM.
And it's not just the artists and Sweetwater who benefit from this live music scene. Local businesses like 2E's Winery say they see a higher turnout when live music is played at their venue.
There's definitely a marked increase when we have music out here of how many folks are out here. Some people come out for the wine and happen to get a concert in the process. Some people come out for the concert and happen to get some wine in the process.
With Sweetwater and local bands working together, many musicians are able to share their passion for music with others.
When I get behind the drum set, the other world just stops. That's my own sanctuary there. So I just love playing drums and love creating music that people can understand and relate to.
Demetrius Lewis, WFFT Local News, First at 10.
New Year's resolution is to move forward on our unfinished business as much as I can.
President Obama says his New Year's resolution is to move forward with plans to help combat the gun violence epidemic in the United States. But gun rights advocates in our area say that we already have enough gun control.
If they would just enforce the gun laws that they have on the books now, it would be extremely good for limiting the amount of crime there is.
I don't think there needs to be any more. I think we just need to enforce the ones that we've got. A lot of them aren't being enforced properly.
It's a basic right for people to be able to defend themselves and defend themselves against the government as well from tyranny. So I think you can't take away the basic right of controlling and carrying a gun.
Bob Parker runs the CPI Gun and Knife Show that comes to the Coliseum about 5 times a year. He says that those who enforce laws could do more to prevent gun violence.
A criminal gets arrested and he has a gun. They can put additional charges on him, and they never do. They negotiate or settle their plea bargain down, and so the illegal guns don't really come into play.
Dawn Hillier runs Hiding Hilda, a local fashion firearm accessory business. She feels that there is a lot being done to help prevent gun violence, but more can be done.
I'm for common sense gun laws. I think there's some things that could be tightened. I'm okay with expanded background checks, and actually I had my own personal situation where I would hate to see him get out of jail and get a gun. So I'm okay with the background checks, but I don't think that making it harder for good people to get guns is the way to go.
Gun experts say that the measures that the president is taking to combat gun violence may actually be driving up gun sales.
He is actually encouraging people to buy more guns, so it's increasing the gun sales, the ammo sales, and stuff like that, because everybody wants what they can't have.
The turnout for this show was terrific. Everybody wants to go out and buy a gun while they still can.
More than 3,000 people were expected to attend this weekend's gun show, and officials say they met or exceeded that prediction. Demetrius Lewis, WFFT Local News, first at 10. According to information from Tire Rack Street Survival, the leading cause of death for people ages 15 to 21 are car accidents. Each year, more than 5,000 teens are involved in fatal car crashes. And these stats hit close to home for Larry Dent, literally. He says an accident near his home 10 years ago is his motivation behind this driving class.
3 young people died in that van that day, and 8 or 10 years later, there's still a little cross by the side of the road. Once a week or every 10 days, somebody, a parent, comes by, puts a flower down, and I see it, and it's heartbreaking. That's why I do it.
The Tire Rack Street Survival driving program has been around for 14 years now, training close to 20,000 new drivers on how to control their vehicle rather than just operate one.
We do it because young people don't really have an opportunity anymore to get practical driving skills anywhere else. We do it every year, and we put these young people through courses driving with an instructor beside them, one-on-one, always one-on-one. We never exceed 40 miles an hour in any of our exercises.
Students and their parents spent part of the day in the classroom before hitting the track. They learned the importance of staying sober while driving, as well as keeping calm in hazardous driving conditions.
We do a slalom course, which is kind of a zigzag between pylons. We do a braking and lane change course, which we accelerate to 40 miles an hour and slam on the brakes hard, or we make a very, very quick turn so that the car slides, so that the student has a feel for what a car does in a slick or in a high-speed situation and how to correct it. We teach something here, driving skill here, that you can only learn in a school like this or in an accident, and we'd rather teach them here.
About 20 kids take part in this program each year, though Dent wishes he could have more.
I'm sorry that we can only do 20 in a class. I wish we could do 2,000 in a class, but you do what you can.
Demetrius Lewis, WFFT Local News, first at 10.
Come up here and come to a stop.